Hi everybody. All right, I thought it was time we should go and explore a February forecast. So I'm gonna connect with my spirit guides, and then we'll see what they have to share with us about February. Okay? Okay, I'm just gonna relax here, and we'll see what comes. So there's eyes that are opening. It's just very thin, and then they are opening. And as they open, we're seeing, I don't know if it's sort of like a reflection, as in there's mountains and then water. And so it looks like the mountains are below and above at the same time. That's kind of what the scene looks like. But the mountains are full of greenery, like green mountains. And then there's sort of a strange, sort of bluish gray, sort of, I don't know, like water. And then what would be like the reflection of the mountains in the water. And when the eyes open, they see the mountains above and the mountains below, and then a thin line that would create water. I'm putting my hands out as though it's like a paper or something. I'm blind. It's the way it feels is that I am blind, and I'm putting my hands out in order to touch the scene that I have no ability to touch. My spirit guides say it would be better to describe it as I'm wearing glasses that have a picture inside the lens, and then I am opening my eyes and I'm seeing inside the glasses this image, and then I'm putting my hands in front of me as though I would be able to touch the image that is on my glasses. So you're not going to be able to touch that image. It's actually on the lens of your glasses, and yes, you are blind because you are looking at an image that is attached to your glasses. You're not going to be able to see a stinking thing. You're just looking at this. So how are you going to be able to see beyond that? You have to take this out from inside your glasses and now look through, or just take them off altogether and now you see. You see the bigger picture instead of this illusionary image in front of you that is even blinding you. What illusionary image is in front of you that is blinding you from seeing the bigger picture? That's what they're saying. They're very forceful about this message, and it's a lot of take the glasses off and look. Look is what they're saying. Very loudly, very forcefully. Again, they say, take the glasses off. See the bigger picture. And now know what you can or can't touch, as in the scenery of what this is about. So I just need to pause for a minute. There's instant switch in this, and then we're looking at a ketchup packet, and it was sort of like it got smushed and the ketchup just went fling. There's a weird essence of like a snottiness about it. It's like a weird snot that's sort of like oozing and then snotting back upward again. It's gross. And this even feels like the ketchup is like, it's thick. It's not necessarily representing blood. It's just a thick, it's not necessarily representing ketchup though either, but it's thick and it's blurting onto my face as well, like on my eye as well. It just keeps happening. It just keeps, and every time that the hand squirts a very oversizedly plump ketchup packet and it does this and then it spurts, every time it does that, it's like it just keeps spurting in my face over and over and over and over again. It won't stop, and it has a weird essence of being like a dinosaur just sneezed in your face and you're covered in dinosaur snot. Like there's something extremely disgusting about it. And it just keeps happening, and it's like it just goes straight into your eyeball. It says, how does that make you feel when it chooses you? When the ketchup packet chooses you. How does that make you feel? It's not going to feel very good if you're going to keep getting the ketchup in the eyeball. And it's going to feel gross, it's going to feel frustrating, it's going to feel annoying. So there's something to the eyes again. This one is really weird. It's like half of the face is made out of some pre-constructed plastic that it's almost robotic on this scene, and this scene is very human, very natural. But this side is sort of created out of fabricated materials, and it's not actual natural human sort of humanness. So if the ketchup keeps going into your eye on the artificial side, then it's not a big deal because you can just wipe it off. You don't have feelings on that side. Your feelings aren't real human feelings. So it's not going to be in your way because you're superficial, you're artificial, you're not real. You're not a real person. So not real people getting the ketchup in the face, they aren't even going to notice it, or they would just brush it off, or they wouldn't have the capacity to really feel disturbed by it. But people who have feelings, people who have opinions, people who have a heart that is beating and a voice that wants to be shared and feeling derailed are going to keep feeling derailed because it's going to keep going into the real eyes, the eyes that see real things happening. I'm telling you, it's absolutely annoying. I've been getting ketchup in the eye I don't know how many times right now, and it almost makes my eye feel like it's going to gurgle up and it's going to get infected and it's getting really bothered. I literally am experiencing ketchup in the eye right now. And in this state, I keep wondering, when is Spirit going to stop this? When is Spirit going to alter this pattern? When are things going to change? They say, oh, Spirit has to change everything for you? Spirit has to move the ketchup for you? Why would Spirit have to do that for you? Why would Spirit have to do everything for you? Why aren't you interacting with your own spirits, allowing your spirits to interact and participate in this world and change things? That's what they're saying. Oh, you don't like the ketchup in the eye. Oh, well, why don't you? Why don't you like ketchup in the eye? They're talking about experiencing life, feeling life, and participating in life because life doesn't feel very good sometimes. And when life doesn't feel very good, what are you going to do about it? Just keep getting ketchup in the eye, or eventually you're going to say, stop it! I'm done with this! Or are you going to be artificial about it? Are you going to be superficial? You're not a real human being. Underneath the skin, you're just a robot. So it doesn't matter if you get ketchup in your eye. It doesn't matter because it doesn't pertain to you. You're not part of this world because you're a robot. Things are easily acceptable when you're a robot because you don't have the choice to care. You don't get to care. You don't get to have a spirit. You don't get to have a voice. You don't get to have the feelings and the opinions. Be glad you have feelings. Be glad you have opinions. Be glad that you feel things. Be glad that you're getting upset right now. That means you are alive and you are feeling and you are caring about something. Pat yourself on the back because you care. Pat yourself on the back because you're a caring human being with spirit and with soul and with a voice that wants to be shared. Maybe we don't know how to get this ketchup thing figured out just yet, but we need to start acknowledging it. We need to start acknowledging there's ketchup to the eye and it's getting old and we need to revolve out of this. So they say, you don't just leave it up to us. You start acknowledging that I see something taking place here. I don't know how to stop this from happening. It feels way over my head. I feel too small for it. I don't know what's going on in your life, but this is something you need to look at. Could be a difficult relationship, could be, a difficult job, could be anything, right? It could be politics. It could be anything that you're experiencing right now that is really wanting you to notice it. And it won't stop having you notice it until you start acknowledging it needs to be noticed. And maybe I don't have all the answers, but okay, Spirit Realm. All right, I'm noticing ketchup in the eye. I don't have all the answers. I need your help. And they say, okay, now we can help you. Don't just tell us what to do. We don't want you to just tell us what to do and then expect us to clean up your mess. Tell us, I acknowledge that there's this situation going on in my life and I don't know what to do about it, but I welcome you to promote ideas and inspirations to help me alter this behavior, this pattern. And they're like, ooh, we're going to give you a hug now. We're going to make it warmer. And we're going to help you with this because you're sweet and you acknowledge that you're seeing something that you need to change. We're going from a superficial, materialistic, cardboard-like way of behavior, just do it, versus going deeper into the heart portal, exploring the way the heart really feels about the matter, exploring the way you really feel about things, and then connecting with the spirit realm and saying, I can use your help now. So that's what they're saying. Okay, there was a thought I had, and I wasn't going to proceed talking about it, but they're telling me to talk about it. So we talk, you can hear this all over the place. Spiritual speakers talk about this. How do you manifest love? How do you manifest abundance? How do you manifest love in your life? How do you manifest positive energetic vibrations? You think positively. You know you're worthy and deserving. You step into your inner power. You allow yourself to conquer, right? How many people are miserable across the planet? How many people are struggling across the planet? How many people don't feel that there's any hope for them or that anything is going to change? And things have been kind of in a consistent way for the last 20 years of my life. And guess what? I don't have much to believe in anymore. I mean, if something was meant to change, it would have changed by now because I did this, that, and the other thing, and I put my heart and soul into it. And now I just don't have any heart and soul left. I really don't feel that manifesting anything actually works because I have tried it. It doesn't work. They're wanting me to explore this conversation. The more we hang in there, the more we start to choose to believe in love, the more love makes a difference. So they're wanting me to stop here. Okay. There's something weird about a really oversized belly, and there's sort of like odd lettuce inside. I don't know, it's like a weird belly fold, and there's some lettuce inside, and there's some like grayish color. It looks like a really creepy hamburger, or it looks like a really oversized belly with a strange roll with lettuce stuck in it and like goo. It's I don't know what to make of it. So we're going to start there. They want me to see what is above is also below. And then in the center, we have a little bit of something different. I don't know what to do. I tell them I'm kind of scared. Do I touch this? They're like, why are you scared? It's like, because if there's something really gross about this. There's something incredibly gross about the way this feels. It's not because it's obviously kind of a gross scenario, but it also feels very gross. It would be like, I'm going to pick up that cockroach I haven't eaten in 2 weeks. That's the way it feels right now for me. You're saying, get over yourself. Go over there and touch the gray stuff and touch the lettuce. Go over there and look at it and touch it. Stop reacting and getting grossed out and feeling all of these things. Just go do it. He says, okay. Okay, I'm over there. I'm pulling out lettuce. It really is a weird belly. I'm taking my finger and I'm scraping this really gross, sort of grayish colored sticky goo. I mean, you don't want to brush your teeth with whatever this is. I'm opening the weird fold and I'm cleaning it out because it's getting infected in there. It's really bad. I mean, it's so bad it's developing sores and the skin itself is starting to rot away. It's really horrible. They're saying now you are participating in cleaning up. You're participating in helping another clean up themselves. You're participating. You're not just saying, ew, spirit, you just do it for me. You're actually stepping forward and saying, okay, I'll get over myself. I will touch the gross goo. And look at it. I will pull out the lettuce. I will do it. The more I participate in this scene, the more it actually isn't so bad. And I actually am quite proud of myself. And I'm actually thankful that I did this, because this needed to be acknowledged and this needed to be cleaned and healed very badly. How many aspects of our lives are like this, where we really need to look at them, how bad that they are, and step forward and then clean up our mess? Or help somebody else clean up their mess too. Some of us just don't have the life skills to know how to help ourselves. How is that? The more we continue down this roadway of being, more and more people are going to kind of fall into that bucket, and more people are going to fall into all kinds of different buckets. It's better to just start cleaning up our mess now, instead of waiting to see how messy we can get it, and how infected and how gross and how terrible we can get it. It's better to start figuring this stuff out now. And they're talking about, this is a message for your individual life. This is a message for the global scale things too. Cleaning up the planet. If you participated in maybe you start a meetup group in your community where you meet like-minded people who care about Mother Earth, and once a month you get together and you clean up maybe you would choose to adopt a highway, and then you clean up the highway once a month. Or maybe you start a meetup group for people who love to garden, and you work with the community or the city and say, we'd like to participate in growing more flowers downtown or something. And so you actually do it as just a community group, and maybe everybody pitches in $5 a meeting, and that way it supports the seeds and the materials, etc. And now we're doing something. Now we are cleaning things up one little baby step at a time, and that little bit makes a huge difference 20 years later. It makes a humongous difference, because we're choosing to actively support change, positive, beautiful change. So they're saying again, how do you manifest abundance? How do you manifest love? How do you manifest? You start by actively participating in the experience of love. Actively participate in the experience of loving yourself, Mother Earth, and humanity. And you be amazed by how much you can attract through the gift of love itself. You are choosing to put your hand out there and say, I love you to others. Touch their hearts and inspire them to wake up and say, something good is happening in this world, and it has touched my heart. And I'm watching it as I'm driving to work every day. There's people planting flowers, and they're beautiful. And when I go get coffee, a couple hours in, I go get my coffee, I see them, I smell them. I watch bumblebees come to life downtown. Bumblebees are a good thing. We need more bumblebees. It just seems like Mother Earth becomes more a part of our lives. And we start feeling more love in our hearts, because we are changing things with the gift of love. They're saying love, love, love. Love more. Love yourself more. Love others more. Love this earth more. Dream. Keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming about love. There's a human being there showing me they're wearing sort of like a very thick kind of, I don't know they're buttoned down and they're really thick. They're kind of like lumberjack kind of wear. It's got a collar and different patched patterns. It's sort of red boxes with brown. And it's a man, and he's taking this garment off. He's really skinny, scrawny. He hasn't really cut his hair for a while, so you can tell it's not really it's longer, but it's not clean cut, and he hasn't shaved in like a week and a half, so it's sort of, he just looks a little rougher around the edges. Isn't cleaned up his act, sort of, so to speak, but there's something about, they're really showcasing this is a very small man. He would be like 5'4" and very lightweight, like 100 pounds or something. I don't know how it would be a normal weight, but he's very skinny and short. But he is a full grown man. There's just a patient moment. There's several things happening. One is what would be like a photograph that was pulled up. Another was a calendar slip that was ripped off. And then another, I'm sort of on a boat hearing the sound of like seagulls and then the movement of water on a boat on a dock, next to a dock. There is this man wearing his shirt again, even sort of a warmer cap. He must work with outside with like fishery or something. There's something about being on a boat and then pulling in lots of seafood or something. But he's writing right now. He even wears some really oversized sort of, I don't know, they're overalls, but they're a different type of fabric. They're not jean. They're a different type of fabric. And they're a yellowish color. And I can't say that they're rubber, but I'm not able to see them clearly, but they're not jean material. He's still at this desk inside of a, I mean, it's not fancy by any means in here. It really is sort of like being inside a ship that would go in Alaska or something, that would go out to sea and, catch a lobster or crab, or I don't know, it's something like that. And so he's just very simple sort of space here where he is writing. Keeping his ears warm, his stocking cap is like it's like a darker gray color. He's quite clean. Even though he hasn't shaved or cut his hair for a little bit. The air is really crisp and cool. It's like he's writing a letter to somebody and then he's putting it in an envelope and mailing it. He hasn't gone that far yet. It's like he's writing a letter to his mom and dad or something like that. I keep hearing the sound of seagulls and there's some sort of bell noise I hear. It's a really lovely, patient type of... There's something really patient. Like I could sit here and drink coffee for the next 3 hours and just look out the window, hear the birds, that weird bell sound, and just the rocking sort of back and forth. There's something really patient about his style, and he just kind of could get caught off into staying. It's just peaceful. Just looking off into the distance. He smiles to himself and his heart feels warm inside. It starts to glow. He touches his heart with his hands. He smiles to himself. It's like he's writing a love letter. They show me an envelope that has a heart sticker on it, a red heart sticker. It's very small. I can hear him standing up from the chair that scoots out. He is stretching. Everything is really peaceful and quiet. This man changes into another version of a man. He's a little bit huskier, more brutish looking. He has really oversized lips. Really sort of... He's got a bigger, sort of a wider jaw line. He too is sort of on this fishery boat. He too is kind of dressed. He's sort of got a sweater and these overalls, and he too has a cap on like that. His hands are rougher. He doesn't stand up straight. He's kind of more looming over, but he's probably in his 20s. He really has a good heart. He's really good at following directions. He actually really cares about who he's working for. They aren't showing who he's taking directions from. He really cares about his role, his job, and he's a very good listener. He takes this seriously too. They should keep showing me a bell that is actually on the boat, and it can kind of ring sometimes when the wave hits just right. It just rings itself. There's something about it's time, the bell's ringing, but it's not necessarily time. It just happens to be ringing. They're showing me the wind can also blow it enough that it'll ring. And sometimes the waves get really big here and the boats really move back and forth in the sort of dock region. I mean, it's getting kind of like, it's getting cooler, really, really windy, and like a storm coming in. And we're like in a really far northerly location. I love the way their hearts are. I love the demeanor, their personalities. I like, because there's a patience, a peacefulness, there's sort of a really good work ethic, there's caring about the work that they do, and there's the ability to not to just be able to sit and relax and sort of experience just the moment, not having to be constantly on the cell phone. What's the latest Facebook feed? What's going on with the world today? Latest media, email, whatever it might be. There is no cell phones here. There's no tablets here. There's no television, no computer. This is all there is. There's just boat. There's the sound of nature. There's wind. There's the bell ringing. There's the seagulls. There's what nature looks like. There is participating in the experience of being human. This man doesn't have anybody he's writing to or anybody in his heart. And so his heart is in the work that he does. And he knows that one day, if he works hard enough, he can make a lot of money. It'll be really good for him. So his heart is in the work that he's doing. It's not that he wouldn't like to have a companion. It doesn't even really make sense with his role right now, because he just wouldn't be as available. It seems like he would not be as available. And he's really focused on being the best he can be at this role. They're saying it's okay to have your love to be your role, actually to be in love with the work that you are doing as your companion. If you're not in love with the work that you're doing, they're saying there's something here about, what is your career? Are you in love with your career? If you're not in love with your career, it's a reflection of a relationship that is an imbalanced relationship. Are you in love with the money, or are you in love with the career? It's sort of, he actually loves what he does, and he does make money with what he does. And they're saying that there is a lot of pride and a lot of balance and harmony in his role, this sort of human adventure that he is experiencing. This too is a very high vibrational, loving reflection, because he is secure with himself, he is secure in what he is doing, and he is happy. This boat also has a personality of its own kind. The boat is looking out at the waves that are coming in, and it's feeling its body moving back and forth. It seems to have something along the sides, kind of like tires or something. It won't hurt the dock, but it can feel its body moving against the dock sometimes. It's really rocky. The waves are pretty rocky right now. It doesn't necessarily have a heart. It doesn't necessarily have eyes that see, but it does feel. It does experience somehow. It does feel its own role. The boat, yeah, itself has its own vibration that it was assigned based on the way that it was built, the role that it is provided, and the human beings who are using the boat. So the boat itself too develops its own vibrational consciousness based on these factors. Is the boat alive? Yeah. In one version of a reality, yes it is. Because it was given a vibrational persona. It was created, it was built. Was it built with heart? Are you building things in your life with heart? The more you build things in your life with heart, they take on the reflection of heart themselves. If you just there's something about, they're showing me what would be like cookie cutter houses. There's something about building a house with heart, as in deciding exactly the layout, working with an architect, I don't know who, but working with somebody who could develop it, and then actually putting your heart and soul into it. I want the bedroom to be here because I want the view to be romantic. And really thinking about how you are creating the things in your life and build them with love. Those inanimate objects do possess then a vibration that is a reflection of the love put in is now the love that comes out. So again, how do you manifest love in your life? You create things with love. You build your life around love. You make love the value of everything you put your mind to. It's something like, there's something more examples here, as in something like you could go to a store and buy things to furnish your home with, or you could actually take the time to say, I really want something special. I'm going to spend the extra money to get an antique made out of real wood, an antique item made out of real wood, something that my family could love and appreciate for generations. Versus, I kind of just need this. I'm just going to buy, this shelving unit for $100. It's, made out of real wood or whatever. There's something to actually thinking about the things that you want in your life, and then actually choosing to honor that you want the best for yourself, and know that you can get the best for yourself. Some people will say, well, I can't afford the best. I can't afford the best things. Spirit is saying that it is time for you to take a look at this avenue. It's time for you to talk to Spirit about this. It's time for you to say, I can afford the best of things because I am worthy and deserving of the best. I owe it to myself to give myself and my family the best. There's something to this. Again, we're talking about love. How are you valuing yourself financially? This is what I'm worth. I'm worthless. I can't get anything else but whatever I can get at Walmart. That's my value. It's time to not fall into that bracket of thinking. It's time to start acknowledging you do have value, and it's time to start caring about the things that you want to have in your life. Maybe you like to get fast food on a regular basis. Well, don't get fast food. Instead, say, okay, I spend, $20 a week on fast food. There's, $80 or whatever. So in the next 4 months, I would actually be able to afford something that I really like. And I'm going to give up fast food in order to do that. Because I value my health by eating healthy food. And then I also value the things that I want in my life. So reevaluate everything. They're talking about reevaluate your life and evaluate it with love. That's what they're saying. So that is us moving through February here. He's probably 18 years old. He's skinnier. He has literally a card with a heart on it. And he's walking. It's like a port town or something. It's pretty. It has a really pretty style about it. He's smiling. He feels something in his heart. His heart's beating. He feels really proud of himself today. He feels like he did a really good thing today. They aren't necessarily saying it's a romantic relationship. They show me different things. A romantic relationship. He's sending a letter to his mom and dad. He's sending a letter to his grandma or grandpa. He's sending a letter. It's something they're putting this as he has created a letter of love, and he is putting in the mail to somebody he loves, and he feels extremely proud of himself. Showing me human beings across the globe feeling very proud of themselves when they write a letter of love and send a letter of love to somebody that they care about this month, in this month of February. Not necessarily is it all about soulmates, lovers, companions. It's in that way. It can be about the soulmate of our family and friends, our grandparents, our parents, our brothers and sisters, our friends we haven't seen in a long time. Maybe you could get a phone book and then look up an address and just write a random thank you note to somebody you don't even know and send it to them. And just tell them, I don't know you, I just pulled your address out, and I just wanted to send you a Valentine's Day card and let you know that you are loved today. Imagine if we all did that. It would be like the Valentine's Day crew. It's like the ultimate meetup where people all across the globe pick one address. We don't know who you are, and we're just going to send a Valentine's Day card to that person. We don't even know them. They're talking about sharing love with people you don't even know. That's what we're moving into. Acts of love and kindness for those that we don't even know. They're saying on a spiritual level, we know them quite well, but on the physical human level, we don't know them at all. There are no coincidences. There are never coincidences about the things that happen, the people that you choose. There's a pause. Sort of moving down the line here of February. There is something weird here. It looks like a real heart, not like you draw the heart. It looks like a real human heart, and there's something of a very small screwdriver, and there's weird webbing around the heart, and the screwdriver's kind of like cutting off some weird skin on the actual heart. It looks like a real human heart. It's not inside of a human body. It's just a heart, and then a weird tiny little screwdriver that's being used to cut like very thin lines of skin. The heart is starting to bleed out. And it's not bleeding out of that. It's bleeding out of all the tubes that, that go into the heart and leave the heart. It's just bleeding out in different places. But from the tubes. It feels left alone. It feels like somebody picked up a heart and threw it against the wall, and then it just slowly down the wall, and now it's on the ground, and then it's letting out the blood now. It's getting more and more violent, more and more overwhelming. The need to take a heart and then throw it and hear it slap against the wall, and then it just slowly falls out, like slides down the wall and then falls to the ground. Literally, let's just keep picking it up and throwing it against the wall, slap, and then it just slowly, and then it bleeds out. They're showing me, this is not okay, but they're showing me people laid out one after the other, after the other, after the other, and they look very sickly. And it's in a very big sort of auditorium type of thing. A lot of sick people, coughing and miserable, moaning, groaning. They're all sick. They're all very sick. It's horrible in here. The energy is very putrid that is being emitted. They're just real moaning, and everybody's sick. And I keep looking at this man, and they show me as though his heart is exposed. Like I can see his heart, and he's overgrown. He feels very, very sick. There's a woman in a cot right next to him. But I can only really see him here, so I'm going towards him. He's got a really overgrown kind of mustache, gray and white hair. He's also starting to grow facial hair here. I'm holding his hand. He doesn't seem to acknowledge me. There are really deep thoughts that he has. Really deep thoughts about why has it come to this kind of thing. Wondering, why are we all in this room together, sick together? There's so many people, hundreds of people in here. It's a whole new version of a reality. I mean, if this is all you know day after day after day as being in a giant auditorium with hundreds of people and cots coughing and moaning and everybody's sick and you know you're going to die, it gives you a whole new perspective on reality. Whole new perspective on how you feel. It gives you a new perspective on the importance, on the value of living. Because one day, you never know, this could be you, kind of thing. Because in his mind, he is thinking about how he never thought his life would just suddenly end inside of an auditorium with all these sick people, and this is all he has left, and he only has a couple more months to live, kind of thing, and this is the end of his life. This is what it came down to. This is why I lived all of these years, for this moment. How many people have been in there? How many people in history have been there? It gives you a whole new reason to start appreciating that you have your health, that you aren't in a sick bed in an auditorium. It's like the worst way to share wisdom. Well, be glad that you're not this, so now be happy. That doesn't always help, but in this scene, I'm telling you, you're experiencing this, and now it does give you a whole new perspective on what you can experience in your life. You have your health, you have the abilities. You're not stuck in a cot. See what else they're saying about this. I mean, the thing is, there's nobody here. There's no nurses, there's nobody helping them. But there's a lot of cots and a lot of people moaning. And this man is the one that they keep looking at. We keep looking at him and the way that he is feeling. He's crying within himself. He's looking up at the ceiling. They're showing me that everybody is gone now except him. He is the last one. He's the only one left. He's starting to realize that it was all an illusion, that he has his health, that he's quite strong and capable. There's nobody here. He's standing up and he's looking around and wondering what that was all about. He puts his hand on his heart and notices that his heart is still beating and that he is quite alive and that he is not sick or in pain or suffering. And he asks himself, what will I do now that I acknowledge that I am alive and that I have a heart? Where will I go from here? His experience has literally been like he was quarantined for several months and everybody died but him. So now he was the chosen one. Now he has a whole new reason to wonder about what his purpose is, because he was sure he was going to die and he did not. Now he feels differently about who he is and why he is here. Why would Spirit have chosen me? I'm a nobody. I'm just an older guy. Why am I the one that survived this? You should all be thinking that, they say. You should all be trying to discover why it is you are here. Why were you chosen to be here right now? What are you capable of doing for this world? How are you capable of sharing your heart with this world? How are you capable of standing up and acknowledging that I am alive and well and that I am capable of doing something in this world, and that Spirit chose me. Did you know that Spirit has chosen everybody? And that we also chose ourselves, and we wanted to participate here in this experience. Spirit chose you. You are the man. I am the man. We all are the man standing up and acknowledging now that we have a heart that is beating just fine, and we are chosen. We have potential. What is it we are meant to do? What is it? He doesn't have a clue what it is. How many of us do not have a clue what it is? And when we don't have a clue what it is, what do? Nothing. We just wonder. They show me this man is now leaving this. It's like a massive gym. He's leaving the gym. He looks one way down one hallway, then, he's in a hallway, he's looking both ways, trying to decide which direction he will go. It's really weird. The way he feels is really creeped out, like he's the last man on earth. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't even know what it's going to look like when he goes outside. He is outside now, and it's a sunny day, and there's birds chirping. His image changes. He's a different man now. He looks younger. He's bending down, and now there's a little girl running towards him that calls him Daddy. He picks her up and he holds her. He seems confused. Like maybe he had died and now he's in heaven, because this isn't the same place that I thought it. This is what is going on here. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. He still doesn't relate to this being the same place that he was in before. I was supposed to die. Did I die? How come this is now, I'm telling you, there's a strangeness about it all. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He is walking, holding this girl towards a car. It's a sunny day. He's outside of a school. I can't say it's particularly busy, full of people. It feels like they are the only people in the world. They're showing me this man as an older man again. A different scene, totally different scene. There's sort of like a glass sort of piece. He's in a suit and he is mapping out, I don't know, equations or something on a really super wall, a glass wall. He's an important man. He's making important decisions. It's even sort of on the level of like military decisions. He is pointing a finger. He is on some sort of intercom. It's sort of like a massive Navy style kind of ship type thing. He's been called to do this role as well. And so he is participating in the role. He is directing people what they need to do next. He's got a very high up purpose. He feels really worn out and tired, is what he feels like. I mean, it's like he hasn't slept in a while. It's horrible. It's absolutely terrible. How exhausted this man is, but still running as though he's at 100% when he is not even at 100%, not even close. It would be like he's living off of coffee as the only means to keep himself going. I don't even know if he would be able to sleep even if he tried, because his body is so forced to be awake all the time. It's like it's wired. So there's a different so there's a the scene is shifting and changing again. It's getting sleepier now. We're looking at some planes, some sort of military jets flying. There's two of them, and then they turn and part, and then they go in opposing directions. Like a mirror. Not like we saw the mountain on top and the mountain on bottom, but then we turn it this way. So they fly and then they veer off like that. We're going through the center of where they sort of fly next to each other and then they veer. And we're in the center. We're flying through the center. And in the center, there's a very thin line. We open the curtain of reality, and on the other side, there's kids playing in a band, like a school band. There's these string instruments and even instrument like trumpets and baritone and stuff like that. Like a concert, a real concert at a school. But all the kids are gone and now suddenly disappeared, and there are no parents watching. There's nobody in the school at all, period. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. There's a very disturbing image. There's just something very disturbing here. What is a world where everybody just starts to disappear and nobody is left? Everybody's just gone now. You can still feel, the earth still feels the sunlight, and it still hears the birds chirping. The earth will still grow. They show the earth as a heart, its own heart that's beating. That's all there is left. There is again what is a new scene of like a doctor who is dissecting a heart now with real doctor-like instruments and tools to open up the heart in different places, and the heart is actually on a pan, is always studying the heart. He's wearing an all white outfit with a weird, he's has to be extremely sanitary because there could be an infection or something that he could actually get himself. So he has to be in an outfit. Everything is white and super clean, and the temperature of the air is extremely strict, and it's cooler. This man looks up and he walks towards a door. He's opening the door. He's leaving. It's so empty of people. I mean, it's like he's the only one. I'm telling you, there's something very sad about this. Because there's the sense of giving up heart. Because there is no heart left. I don't know how else to describe it. This man in his heart feels that there are no hearts left, and that there is nothing left now but death. And even in his role, he has no solution to whatever this is, and there is no solution, therefore there is only death. He is emotionless about it. He doesn't have the means to have emotion about this. He doesn't even know how to tolerate that. He doesn't have a thought. He doesn't know how to feel about this. It's very empty. I'm telling you, it's very empty. And the emptiness and the lack of human life is very disturbing, on a very disturbing level. They keep saying there are no hearts left. There are no hearts left. There are no hearts left. How will the earth grow new hearts? The earth is counting on us to find the hearts within us, to inspire love to keep us all growing. Otherwise, there will be no hearts left. So, it's all that makes you feel really warm and cozy inside about February. That's what they have to share about February. I'd just be curious to see how things unravel, you know. We're in a really important year for heart discoveries, looking deeper into our own hearts, really examining who and what we are, and coming forward and making changes in our life in order to create more heart in our life. The more we create heart as individuals, the more that energy expands across the globe. And so this, I don't know how you want to translate this, but my experience with that last scene was very sad. I mean, it was on the level of there is a terrible infection and many human beings die, almost everybody. And all that is left are just a few random genetics that are able to override the infection for some reason. It's creepy. Is that really going to happen? Or is that just a message for you to contemplate? I'm not a fan at all of doomsday theories and we're all gonna die theories. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm a fan, though, of thinking about the messages that lay within those types of phenomenon. And why is it that some human beings really feel like the only solution is for death to happen for us to finally wake up? Why can't we just wake up? Why do we have to die first? Like, why can't we just be loving people? Like, why did it take all of this for us to finally be like, oh, maybe I should have been more loving. Oh, maybe I should have actually come out and tried a little bit harder. Why does the calamity what we need in order to just choose to be loving people? We all have the ability to love. We all have the ability to love. So let's just do that, right? Let's love ourselves, and through loving ourselves, we manifest more love in this world. Through loving Mother Earth, we are now manifesting more love in our own lives. We are manifesting more love in everybody's lives. We just need to start promoting the love reflections in order to manifest a world of love. So that's all I got. It's super, super long channeling. So I hope you enjoyed it, and good for you for getting to the end. All right. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in exploring spiritual healing with me or psychic wisdom, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.